Today's topic is disassociation. I've been a person who's constantly feeling like they're disassociated periodically, so not all the time I'm disassociated. I just feel it here and there. When I am disassociated, there are a lot of symptoms that go with it. It's brain fog. It feels like you can't remember vivid moments of your life. It feels like everything's kind of a blur. It feels like nothing is special and you can't hold on to moments and they don't have value. So it feels like you're kind of just floating through and there's no point. There's a lot of ways I go about it. Before I get into that, I just want to talk about how large it seems that the world is feeling disassociated, particularly America. And I feel like that was a thing starting from COVID. And a lot of people stayed inside from COVID, and then they started consuming a lot, and then they got these habits of consumption that they have consistently implemented in their life, and it impacts them and the people around them. And so dealing with disassociation, me personally, I think the most underrated thing I do when I feel genuinely like shit and I have brain fog and all that is I get cardio. Cardio is number one. People are always like, go lift, go get a workout in. I do that and I still feel like a fucking chud, even if my arms are sore. Cardio, if I go play a full basketball session, go on a run, I always feel so much better. That is number one. I recommend that to everybody. If you feel like shit and life just has no value, get a fucking good sweat in. Cardio. Outside of cardio, there are other life habits that kind of help you feel connected with reality again. I wrote down some of them right here. So a few of them that I recommend you do, writing down your thoughts, okay? So a lot of people go through their day and they have like these little goals they have in mind and they're kind of working towards them, but they don't really like find value in them. They don't really take the time to sit down and write out the future vision they have. If you write down your vision, the little milestones start to become way more meaningful and you're like, oh, I actually know what I'm building right now. And so reiterating to yourself maybe like once a month. But I recommend people write in general. I write down all my thoughts in my notebook that I turn into videos for you guys. But like, even if you don't do content like I'm doing, I just recommend if you have thoughts, write them down. I have this app called the Journal app. If you're going to be on your phone, you might as well try this out. There's a journal app. I think it might be made by Apple, so maybe don't put your darkest secrets in there if you're a fucking weirdo. But that app reminds you once a day. It's like, it's 4 p.m. Make sure to write down your thoughts. And I think that's a good way to write down what's going on in your mind. Or, maybe see the notification, write down in a notebook. Outside of that, and cardio, I recommend people go outside, obviously. I have this issue with me, and I don't know if it's common, because I talked about in other videos things that are relatable to a lot of people. I don't know if this one is, but it is to me and my friend group. A lot of people I know wake up super late, and that's because I'm a video editor. So our job's kind of like spontaneous. So sometimes we'll wake up at 8 a.m., sometimes we'll wake up at 3 p.m. The days we wake up at 3 p.m., I know if I don't go get sunlight, my day is basically ruined, unless I'm like, I don't even fucking know what, unless I just get lucky. So I recommend people get sunlight or just go outside, go on a walk, even if it's rainy. Just get outside if the sun is technically out, even if it's blocked by clouds, go outside. Aside from going outside, I feel like a lot of people that are disassociated have a lack of meaningful social interactions. So a lot of people are surrounded by people that do not inspire them. They're surrounded with people that don't bring out the best in their ideas and motivate them to do the best in their life. They surround themselves with people who will sometimes have a good time with them, but they don't really add any substance to your routine. You want to find people that when you leave the conversation with them, you're both motivated to be the best version of yourself. People that point out what you're doing right and tell you how you can do better when you're doing wrong, not just telling you what you're doing wrong. Or at least give you advice on what they would do if they see you doing something wrong. And I think the final aspect I want to bring up is how if you're disassociated, you're also probably not having fun. And so if I get too work oriented, I actually feel disassociated. So even if I'm making these videos, I'm working out, sometimes I feel like what is the point of this shit? When I get like that, that's when I know I need to just fuck around. So if somebody invites me to do something, I'll say yes, 100%. Because I just need to get out there and just go do something different. And especially things that I want to do, you know. Like if a buddy texts me to play a video game, or somebody asks me to go to a movie or a basketball game, whatever, I'll say yes to those things. Preventing disassociation is very easy if you limit your screen usage and you like to live more in the moment. I always tell my buddies that aren't a video editor that if you don't have to be on your phone, why the fuck are you on your phone? My job requires me to be on my phone. So on my days off, I'm on airplane mode. There's an option on your iPhone to turn it to black and white. I'm doing that too. So when I look at my phone, I don't get as much dopamine. I'm taking part with what's in front of me. That's why I'm even making these videos, because I'm focused on what's in front of me. I could just be doom scrolling all night, fucking off, watching YouTube, whatever. Setting limits on your screen usage, especially because, like, I don't know if this is an issue other people have. I'm rambling, so I'm just going to tell you everything I think. But a lot of people, this is like a weird, maybe this is a little autistic, but I've met people that relate to this one. They think that if they turn off their phone, that somebody they love is going to, like, call them with an emergency. Like, somebody they love is dying and having a heart attack. If you didn't pick up, you think that that person, if they had the chance to call you, they couldn't just call somebody else, like, or 911. The world isn't going to change much with your phone off for maybe 2 days a week, okay? Have 2 days a week where you're on airplane mode, or it's just completely shut off for 5 to 6 hours, or maybe even the whole day if you're able to do that. Take advantage. If you work a 9 to 5, take advantage of the ability to not be on your phone. That is actually a weird blessing you don't even understand that you have. I had another point. To sum up everything that I've said, I think that you need to identify that you're disassociated, which I explained the symptoms. It's not having good memory. You don't feel like anything matters. You're floating through the days. Identify it. Realize where it stems from. So probably lack of time management or awareness of time. Lack of reiterating your goals to yourself. Lack of meaningful social interactions. Lack of cardio and sunlight. And lack of fun. So you need balance of all of this to start to clear your head. I think that if people start to identify their disassociation and actually battle it, they will start to live way more meaningful lives and actually make real progress that they wanted to see in their lifetime. Too many people get in the trap of disassociation and they don't try to battle it quickly. So they let days float by and they procrastinate fixing this. But if you really want to make a change in this world, you do need to identify it quicker and battle it quicker and realize that. So a lot of people think it takes time, like maybe weeks to get out of this funk. You can have a day where you go on a run, get some cardio, do the little things I said, and it might take you 2 to 3 hours actually just to get those little things done. Your head after you shower, after doing all that, will feel so much clearer. Every time I feel like shit completely, I go run at my gym, or I go on a run outside, or I go play basketball. I turn off my phone. All that stuff that I mentioned. And then I shower. Also, banger tip. It's okay to shower on hot, but always turn it to cold at the end of it. Reduces inflammation, makes your thoughts clear, your body feel tighter, feels way better. Always turn your water to cold at the end of the shower, or take a cold shower. I don't like cold showers. I do the first one. Trust me, that helps. Doing all this will lead you to a way more purposeful life. And so I recommend you make that change now so you can have a happy life. If you're disassociated, I hope you take this advice.